So essentially, it's easier to make an edible with shrooms than it is with THC.
It is.
Because there's less of a process.
It is.
Okay.
I think we need to have more of an understanding of like the heat tolerance of psilocybin and moisture content and that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Which is what, briefly?
What's part?
Heat tolerance.
Debatable.
Briefly.
Debatable.
Less than. Okay, brief intermission. We banged the fuck out the noodles. That shit was good as hell. That shit was good as fuck. But anyway, we were talking about heat tolerance.
Heat tolerance of psilocybin. Personally, I mean, because there's a lot of opinions that I've seen different temperatures. I've seen different temperature ranges.
Okay.
And times associated with those temperature ranges. I've always been a fan of, even when I was dealing with cannabis, I'm a low and slow guy. Like, these compounds are very sensitive to heat. The more heat you add to it, the more you're damaging compounds and chemicals under it.
Okay.
For me,
they do more harm than good.
Yeah. For me, 225, 250 for 15 minutes, I'm good. This is nice. The pasta joint.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you feel like shrooms cut your appetite?
Yes.
So how much of a meal do you get through before you like, nope, that's it?
Depends on when I have it. I don't typically eat with my mushrooms anymore though. Like,
why not?
I don't need it.
Okay.
Like if I want to do it, I just do it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. I don't wait to
need,
have a meal with it.
Yeah, like I don't need to fire them up or saute them or do anything. It's like they're ready. Just you don't do it, do it.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be a capsule, it's gonna be chocolate, it's gonna be.
But what do you think about the taste? What makes the taste vary from like peanuts to like sunflower seeds?
So I believe it's the substrate that they're grown on.
Okay.
And because for me, I would say substrate. I think the substrate that they grow on, and the spawn. So the grain spawn and the substrate, to me, changes the overall flavor profile of the mushrooms.
Okay. So like corn versus
like grain or oats.
Okay.
Or popcorn.
Okay.
Bird seed.
Okay.
You know, like sunflower, corn husks, like depending on what the grain spawn is, would it typically be probably like wood or grain.
Yeah.
Rice,
wood
popcorn.
definitely got like a earthy.
You know, like mushrooms that are grown on wood have, like I said, it's almost like because that's what mycelium does. It's going to break down. It's going to break down compounds, anything that it comes in contact with, and then take what it wants, leave what it doesn't. I would assume that there are some elements of whatever it is that they eat in the mushroom.
Yeah.
So, because every mushrooms grow. I've had psyches growing on wood chips versus cocoa coir. And
I hate that. Ooh, that shit so fucking nasty. That shit.
The cocoa coir?
That shit gross. Jesus died for a lot of things. That wasn't one of them. That shit. Ooh, that shit so nasty.
Why y'all like cocoa coir? It's just coconut.
That cocoa powder shit tastes nasty as hell. I like coconut, but not like, I don't know, it tastes dirty. Like I just licked the side of the damn rind or something. Like,
you shouldn't be eating the substrate.
But, okay, so this one time I had got some shrooms that wasn't really clean. And I was still on there, and so they was gross. That's how I learned about dirty shrooms.
I was about to say, that's just not supposed to be on there. No, it doesn't taste good.
Well, I ate it.
It's not supposed to be.
It was fucking gross. And I, like...
Yo, that shit can make you vomit for sure.
Yes.
It's not...
Yes, so when people be like, yeah, I threw up off the shrooms, I'm pretty sure you did eat them dirty motherfuckers.
And that's the thing, too, is like sometimes people that put out sporulated mushrooms are also people that tend not to clean them. Or even if they do, you can't tell the difference between...
Okay, break down sporulated.
So, or mushrooms that are towards the end of their life cycle. The caps have opened up fully.
And they going this way.
And they're excreting spores.
Okay.
So, from the time the veil breaks until even...
Which is the part at the bottom that comes down.
Yeah, the little skirt.
Okay, the skirt.
Once that little skirt breaks, they're dropping spores.
Okay.
The older they get and the more they open up, the more they pushing out spores.
The gills.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you get mushrooms And you can see like the gills all open up like that, like they're dry, but they're all like open.
Like your shirt.
Kinda. I think that's, yeah, gills.
Okay.
Gills mean spores.
Okay.
Typically, if there's spores, they're dark spores. They kind of cover the. You've seen fruit that are just kind of like dark. They just got that dark shit all over them.
Yeah.
Spores.
Okay.
But it could also be substrated if they don't clean them properly. So you got spore-related mushrooms that you take out, and they're gonna get cleaned properly, and the substrate and the spores just kind of dry together, and you got these like dark, dookie fruit-looking ass mushrooms. It's just we've all come across them once or twice.
Yeah.
But
don't ever want to come across them again.
Again, I think having the respect for the mushroom, like you go to the grocery store and you see certain mushrooms, they're clean, they look presentable.
Correct.
I feel like psychedelic mushrooms,
people don't care about.
There hasn't been really a real standard to what they should look like, because information has been so like people gatekeep it, and it's been so withheld that it's like there's a lot of misinformation out here.
Yeah.
And I just think once mushrooms have some standard, almost like cannabis, where people know what to look for.
Yeah.
People that produce certain types of fruit or a certain level of fruit, they won't be able to do that anymore.
Okay.
People will know, like, oh,
that's low quality.
Kind of like the ones you showed me. I'm like, oh, she's not a veil open. Beautiful. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see no veils open. Nice, golden, almost round caps. Clean stems, because the stem's gonna be clean if there's no spores.
Yeah.
And then if you clean the substrate off, it's like, okay, they took the time to actually give a fuck about their product enough to pull it in time.
Correct.
Not try to get more weight out of it by waiting. Because that's what a lot of people do. They just try to see how big the mushroom can get. It's like, so what you grow 14-gram mushroom?
That's one mushroom, and most people who gonna do shrooms, they ain't gonna want one mushroom that weighs 14 grams.
And to break that down, we're gonna turn it into powder because it's so big.
That part.
And you're not gonna be able to get consistent feeling out of it, so it's like novelty foods are cool too. It's like I just feel like there are different types of growers that have different types of markets. They try to, especially with Instagram, right? Like certain type of fruit are aesthetically pleasing.
Correct.
Depending on your business model, that might not be the fruit for you. And I just think people, because they eat with their eyes and they want to do what they see other people do, a lot of times they'll jump on a strain that they don't know nothing about.
And didn't look up either.
Yeah, they don't know nothing about it. And I think that's because mushrooms are so simple to cultivate, people think it's easy.
Yeah.
But it's not. And there's a lot of respect that has to be given to the process. And I think just like with anything else, there's levels.
Correct.
Right? And there's so many ways to do it. Like, just the past couple of days, I've been finding ways of cultivation I never even would have considered.
Yeah.
Because it's
like that toilet paper roll?
Yeah, that toilet paper thing is crazy. but people grow off cardboard, so it's like, okay, I can fathom it.
Off cardboard?
Yeah. The risotto looks great. These are like beach mushrooms, though.
They what?
They like beach mushrooms, BEECH.
That's not a psychedelic.
No.
Okay.
But if these are psychedelic mushrooms, you wasted your time because you fried them.
Correct. Which means you burnt up the psilocybin.
Most likely. Will he get some out of this? Possibly. Again, team powder.
Correct. I would definitely put powder in a pasta. Powder for sure.
It's a risotto. You could have broke that up and got it into the rice and mixed that in while you were like getting your risotto together. Or put that in on the last. Basically, with risotto, you add stock in waves, essentially, because you're working up a cream base. Anyway, that's how it gets creamy, because you're working the base. Anyway, so towards the end of this process, like the last spoonful of like stock that I would add in is where I would add in mushroom powder, because it would help me.
It's not cooking that long, but it's the majority of the dish is already done.
Yes, and it would allow me to disperse, because I'm adding mushroom powder into a liquid. And then dispersing it, it's easier to disperse it within the whole thing.
Correct.
All I'm looking to do is disperse the water.
Correct. Okay. We fucking getting somewhere with this.
Yeah. Friend gave me this saying it's concentrated liquefied shrooms. It tastes like people serve. I was tripping within 10 minutes of taking a half teaspoon. It's a real thing. This looks like a basically a liquid culture. So
But why is it that dark?
I don't know why it's that fucking dark now.
And tastes like maple syrup?
Now, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. Concentrated liquefied shrooms. You know what? If the shrooms are sporulated.
Okay. Because they do blacken. Depending on how long, depending on how far up we are in the process of the mushroom curling up.
And it's hard to get those spores off, so if the mushrooms got processed in such a way, see, that's my thing.
They were dirty,
so
right?
with a liquid culture, typically you want the liquid culture to be clean any fucking way. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to have to look that up. Concentrated liquefied shrooms. Tastes like maple syrup. So a liquid culture is based on basically like a sugar water.
Yeah.
So you can
like that video I sent you.
Yeah, so you can put like a lot. Yes, that.
But that was
liquid,
regular water, right?
No, it probably has sugar, some kind of sugar in it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
There's sugar or some kind of like malt or yeast in it. It has to have nutrients. It's a nutrient-rich, sterile water.
Okay.
So what you do, you take water, you take sugar, your yeast or whatever. You take your nutrient-rich mixture, but the nutrients are only 4%.
Okay.
You take that, you pressure cook it, you sterilize it.
Okay.
Then you put live culture in it. The mycelium will feed
off of
the
that.
sugars
Correct.
that are in the water.
That's why it looked like jellyish after like 10 days.
Yeah, because the mycelium is taking, yes.
Okay.
So what you typically do with that is make another big batch of sugar water, take that and move it to the bigger batch. So that's one of the fastest ways to expand mycelium.
Okay, and that's what people put spores in and fill up syringe.
That's different.
They fill up the syringe with this.
That's different. A spore syringe is different than a liquid culture.
Okay, what's the difference?
So, quickly.
Quickly.
A spore syringe is the genetic library.
Okay.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Why not?
Because it's all the spores, right? So
from one strand.
It's all the spores from the strain, right? So let's just say this mushroom drops spores.
Okay.
Okay. It's going to drop the entire genetic line, right?
Okay.
Like you're not necessarily going to get a mushroom that looks like this. You're going to get whatever.
Just like having kids.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But who's the other parent?
So that's the thing with spores. You need 2 viable spores to make. Okay?
There's only one, right?
So out of this mushroom, it's going to drop millions of spores, right? Out of those millions of spores, some are going to make, and they're going to create
a variation
of this mushroom.
Okay.
Okay. A liquid culture. If I was to take a piece of this mushroom, let's just say I was to take this mushroom in sterile conditions, open it up, take some of the tissue out, and then put it on agar.
Which is the tray.
Which is the agar place.
Okay.
I grow that out on agar. That mycelium is a genetic clone of this fruit.
Because it is the exact thing that you have taken and let it spread somewhere else.
It's from this, yes.
Okay.
Okay. It's no different. So basically, the mycelium made a fruit. The mycelium decided to create this fruit.
Okay.
And it made it, and it was like, hey, the conditions are great, and you fucking love it. It gives you a beautiful fucking fruit. You want to pull that trait out of the line. That's what penis ring is, right? It's a strain that they took from South America, brought back here and isolated, right? So they got this expression of a certain mushroom. You isolate that expression on agar, you take that expression and you expand that expression.
Okay.
And you keep it going.
Okay.
A liquid culture would be this mushroom.
Okay.
And you would produce.
But how do you get that into a liquid if it's a solid already?
So the mycelium feeds on the nutrient rich. So all the nutrients in the sterile water is what it's feeding on.
Right, but if a liquid culture is this exactly, but this is already a mushroom.
But
where is the liquid and this is a solid?
It's the genetics. So
how do you liquefy the genetics? If y'all like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe. And I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out.
Peace.